YouTube, what's going on YouTube? This is actually a joyous occasion for everybody. This is my first time posting on YouTube. I am new to trucking. I am very new to trucking, and so I decided to start posting some videos about, well, in this video I'm just going to cover a little bit about school, where I went to school, you know, how long it took me to get my CDL, the company I decided to go with, and kind of the whole process with them, and just go from there. This is my first time posting, so be gentle. It is just myself as a solo driver and my sidekick. Actually, we got my sidekick. Let me introduce you to her. Haley Gross. That's Haley dog. Where you going? Say what's up. Oh gosh. I know. Okay, that's all right. Don't deafen everybody. That is Haley dog. That's my sidekick. She's a 9-year-old chocolate lab. She's gone everywhere with me since I've had her, from 6 weeks old. So it was only natural to bring her out on the road with me, and we're loving it. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'll try to do this without screwing up. I'm not gonna mess around with trying to edit anything and all that stuff to begin with. So I got my CDL not too long ago. I've only been driving a truck now with my Class A for about 2.5 weeks, and so far I love it. It's actually something that I've always had an interest in, and just decided to make it happen. So hopefully you guys can hear me. It's pretty noisy. I'm actually at a shipper waiting to be loaded. I went to U.S. truck driving school in Colorado. They had a 3-week course, and it cost about $4,000 if you pay cash, or you can finance, and financing was $6,000. But the benefit to doing that was you didn't have to start making your payments back until 60 days after you got out of school with your Class A. It was pretty basic, pretty simple, I thought. If you take it seriously, it's what you need to get your career rolling. So obviously take it serious, pay attention, and just absorb as much as you can, and you'll do just fine. Like I said, I've only been doing this for about 2.5 weeks, and that doesn't include the training process and orientation and stuff like that, but I've been in my own truck for 2.5 weeks. So I didn't have any problem going through school. The first time I tested, I got through it no problem. Backing, they kind of ruined me in backing because it's almost a little too easy. And I'm not trying to take anything away. Backing in general is not easy, and I'm by no means great at it. So, you know, it'll get better with time and experience. That's just what it takes. But going through the school portion of it and their backing course and stuff, it's a closed environment. It's pretty easy. You get a general knowledge of how to maneuver a truck. Study your pre-trip, learn that inside and out. Learn and ask questions when you're out backing with the instructors, and of course when you're out on the road. Definitely pay attention. So that's just briefly kind of the portion of school. while I was in school and when I got out, I was trying to figure out, where do I want to go? Who do I want to get on with? We had a lot of recruiters come in and talk to us, and everything that every recruiter says sounds fantastic. It's the greatest company to work for. That's their job. But your job is to research the company. Spend the time and energy that it takes to really look at one company over the other and decide what you need, what things are important to you, match those up with the company, and go with it. I decided to go with May Trucking Company. I spent a lot of time looking at other companies, and there's a lot of companies out there that will hire people, recent graduates straight out of school with their CDL and zero experience. But I decided on May Trucking because, well, for a number of reasons. My sidekick, Haley Dog, that you met, May Trucking is pet friendly, obviously, and there's other companies that are not. And if they're not pet friendly, if my pooch couldn't come with me, they were crossed off the list to begin with. Other things that were important, May, and I can't speak for other companies. May, and I'm sure others do too, May pays back tuition, the cost of school, or a large chunk of it. They reimburse you with monthly payments that come back on your check. What else was important? Their training period I really liked, and now I'm starting to get loaded, so it's probably going to get a little bumpy. Their training period, there's companies out there that will have you go out with a trainer, and you're out there for 8-12 weeks with a stranger living on their truck for 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, unless they take home time, which just delays your process. But you're on the truck, with some of these other companies that I looked into for up to 3 months. And don't get me wrong, training is crucial. Training's important. But the way May Trucking does it is that it's kind of based on you. It's based on you and your trainer. How well can you pick everything up, and how well can you do the job and learn? It's not just driving down an open highway. Anybody can do that almost. But you gotta show that you can back safely. You've got to learn. There's so many messages. The Qualcomm is what we use. There's so many messages you've got to learn, all the different macros that you send. What do you send when you get to a shipper? What do you send when you leave the shipper? What other steps do you take? What do you do when you arrive at the consignee? I mean, it's just on and on. So there's a lot to definitely learn. So it's important that when you're in training, be a sponge. Absorb as much as you possibly can. Ask questions. Don't cheat yourself. Don't short yourself, because it's only going to hurt you in the long run. So I liked the fact that May, it kind of kept it open to where if you need to be out 2 or 3 weeks, then you're going to be out 2 or 3 weeks. If you need to be out longer, then you're going to be out longer. But like I said, it's really dependent on you and your trainer, and also how comfortable you are. If your trainer said, "Hey, I think you're ready to go," and you're kind of still nervous, and I don't know. This is a lot of money that they are giving you the responsibility of. So if you're not comfortable, then just let them know, and there's That's no problem. You're not going to be chastised, looked down on or anything. You need that training, take it. I spent about 2 weeks in training, and before I sold it out. My trainer was great. We got along really well. We had good times, and it was just, in general, it was a good process. I learned a lot and enjoyed it. Let's see, what else? Training pay. You're not going to get paid as much as you will when you solo out while you're in training. Training pay is a bit less. May pays a fair wage while you're in training. I've heard of other companies that are in the $400 to $500 range a week while you're in training, and that's just almost highway robbery if you ask me. But May Trucking does pay a fair wage. And then they also, when you solo out, they've got a couple options for you. You can either go straight into cents per mile, and the more miles you rack up, the bigger your paycheck's going to be. Or they offer a flat rate, which is basically guaranteeing that every week you're not going to make any less than X amount of dollars. And the benefit to that is actually, if you run more miles and your check would actually be higher based on the mileage, they're going to pay you that difference. So on the flat rate, you can't lose on that. And it's done in 90-day increments. Every 90 days, if you want to stay on the program, you'll get bumped up a bit in your wage. And at any time, from what I'm told, if you want to swap back over to cent per mile, you can, say, hey, I want to get off the flat rate and go cents per mile. So those are some of the things. I should have wrote some stuff down, I guess. Sorry. Those are some of the bigger things that I was looking for in a company. Let's see. Like I said, I spent 2 weeks out with my trainer. And then we came back to the yard, which was in Denver. That's my home terminal. And then you have to do your solo out test. And that's, if you're paying attention, if you're doing what you should be doing and absorbing and learning while you're out on the truck, the solo out test is no problem at all. You do a road test. You do a skills test, backing course, and not in this order particularly. And then there's a Q&A portion. They're going to ask you a bunch of questions. What if this? What if that? What macro do you send at this point? What do you do if this happens? Just a lot of questions that you'll pick up, you'll learn while you're out with your trainer or your mentor. As they like to call them. And let's see. Oh, and then there was the Atlas test. That was just making sure, you can read a map. I know for some folks that is like basic. You think, who can't read a map? But there's people out there that struggle with it. But in time, and you work with it, and no problem. So they'll give you a route, and you have to trace it out on an atlas. Make sure you know the routes, how to find them, your mileage, your distance, how long is it going to take you to get there, so just some Q&A stuff, the skills and backing course, and then the road test. So you'll go out with a safety guy, make a loop around town, show that you can safely navigate through and maneuver that truck properly. And after that, then you get assigned a truck. And they actually gave me two options. The other thing about May that I'll say real quick is they're actually going to all automatics. They're phasing out the manuals. I'm not sure what the time frame is for that. I've heard different things, but they're from drivers, so I haven't heard anything definitive from the higher ups, but they are going to all automatics. I know for a lot of folks in school trying to learn double clutching, when I got into school, I heard double clutching and I was like, double who? You call me what? I didn't know what double clutching was. But you pick that up in school, learn how to double clutch, and then when you get on with your trainer, you're gonna be floating them gears, and I'm a gear floating mofo most of the time. So anyway, I am in a 2014 Freightliner Cascadia. It's a 13 speed, and I'm very comfortable in it. But kind of the way I see it is, if May is going all automatics, which they are, I might as well jump on that train and just get into it right away, or as soon as I can. So I requested an automatic. If you go with May Trucking, you can do the same. And so they did not, at my Denver yard, have an automatic available. They gave me two options at that point. They said, we've got a 13 speed that we can detail out and get you into, or we can find a ride, hitch a ride with another driver over to our headquarters, which is in Brooks, Oregon, and there's an automatic there that just came out of the shop. It's not one of their newer automatics. And kind of my approach, my take is on it, is that I'm here to work. I'm here to earn. I'm here to make money, and I didn't want to delay anything any longer. So I just, I'm good with a 13 speed. Put me in that 13 speed so I can start rolling now. And that's what they did. I am on the list for an automatic. When I soloed out 2.5 weeks ago, they said it could be about 4 weeks, give or take, probably give. You just kind of gotta go with the flow on that. When the trucks come in that are available, then you can switch over into it. So I am on the list for that. And I'm hoping that it'll be one of those shiny new automatics. So we'll see. I'm going to be posting more videos. I'll do a truck tour so you can see the truck. I'm kind of trying to wait until I can get into my automatic to do a truck tour video so you can see the Cascadia. When I get into the automatic, it's going to be a Freightliner Cascadia also. And I'm just I think I'm going to hold off on that video until I get into that automatic, and then I'll do the video so you can see what it's got, what it looks like, what it is, what you get to spend a lot of your time in. I've got this one set up. I bought a refrigerator at Best Buy, a big one. I got a microwave, I got some other stuff, and then go to Walmart and stock up, load up with all that goody stuff. And they'll install all this stuff for you at one of the terminals. I had them take out one of my shelf towers just so I can fit the refrigerator in here. If you get one of those little tiny ones that are built for the cabinets, it's tiny. It's tiny. You're not going to fit much in there. You'll have to go to the store twice a week almost. So anyway, I went with a bigger fridge. I can get close to 2 weeks of groceries in there, fridge and freezer, and then there's cabinets and shelves and plenty of space for other stuff. Cases of water, cases of Red Bull, because I like my Red Bull in the morning. And so it's I'm pleased with this truck. I'm going to be even happier when I can get into that automatic, assuming it's nice, new, and shiny, and not been broke in. I mean, this one, like I said, it's a 14. When I got into it, it only had, I think, 184,000 miles on it, which is, I mean, that's nothing for these trucks. That is nothing for these trucks. So, one thing that you can look forward to with May is that you're going to get a decent truck. You're going to get something that's fairly new. And they kind of not cycle through them, but they just they swap them out, so they're getting new equipment in, and they'll get rid of the so-called old stuff, which is, I mean, it's not even really all that old, but they keep it fresh and good equipment. Love the people at my terminal. I've met people at other terminals. Everybody seems great. They're friendly. They're helpful. My driver manager is great. He's really helpful if I've got any questions. And it's not only that. I call my mentor, my trainer, whenever I've got other questions. I'll call him, ask for his advice. He'll give me some direction on this and that. Or your driver manager as well. So your driver manager is on your side. He's your best friend, and he can help make things happen for you. So 2.5 weeks out solo. I'm loving it. I do love it. Every day is an adventure. You never, I mean, for the most part, you don't know where you're going to be in a few days. As far as right now, I'm in Spokane, Washington, and I'll be taking this load down to Utah, and I'll be there. I'll be there. Well, I'll be there sometime tomorrow. It's just shy of 700 miles. So I'll do that. I'll probably clock 400 or 500 miles today, shut down a little early, find a decent truck stop, go take a shower, maybe get some laundry done, and then knock the rest out tomorrow. And then I'll be there, way early. My appointment's not until Sunday. So I've got plenty of time to get there. Plenty of time on a short drive. But after that, I don't know where I'm going to be. I don't know where I'm going to go. So that's kind of what I love about this. I do know that I'll be west of the Rockies because I did sign up for driving the Western 11, which is another option that May gives you. You can either choose all 48 states or the Western 11 states. And I chose Western 11. I was born and raised in the Northwest, and I've spent my entire life this side of the Rockies. So I'm just comfortable in this area. I wanted to run over here, for a few months while I get the hang of things. Working on my backing safely. And I'll probably eventually swap over to all 48 states and see more of that countryside. But for now, run on the 11, and I love it. It's good for me. You can start out whichever you prefer, so they give you that option. But I like May Trucking Company. Seems like a great company to work for. And that's about it. That's pretty much all I wanted to cover in this video. Kind of getting up there in time. I apologize. But I will be posting more videos. Like I said a number of times, I've only been out solo for 2.5 weeks. So I am fresh. I am a rookie. I am green. And this video is it's primarily meant for folks that are thinking about getting their Class A, going to school to get their CDL, or maybe you're in school getting your CDL and now you've got to start preparing and planning for your next step after that. Maybe you have your CDL and you're kind of in limbo. Which way to go? Which way should I go? I didn't find a whole lot of stuff out there on May Trucking. You know, when I was looking for myself, I wanted firsthand knowledge. I wanted firsthand feedback from people, and I couldn't really find it. There's videos out there, you know, knuckleheads that are griping about this or that, and not even a whole lot of that, but you know, there is some of that stuff. I'll tell you this, take it with a grain of salt. If they're griping about miles, if they're griping about this and that, I didn't like this, there's usually a reason that they got themselves into that position, and maybe they just, you know, it's everybody else's fault. They don't want to take responsibility. But if you're here to work, if you're here to learn, if you're here to drive, come into it with an open mind, ready to learn, you know, and you're not going to be setting yourself up for failure. So it's that's my opinion, and that's kind of how I look at things. So May Trucking Company, check them out. I don't want to sound, you know, like a cheerleader for May Trucking Company. I want to help people that are, you know, were in my shoes, you know, not too long ago. And so hopefully this will help. Like I said, I am going to be posting more videos. I'll do a truck tour here shortly. I will do some videos about, you know, where I stop, what I'm doing, how things are going, just my progress along the way. If you've got any questions or comments, if you're wondering anything about May or anything else, you know, kind of getting into the life, you know, post it down below, and you know, in the comment section, and I'll definitely get back with you. If I've got enough questions, you know, maybe I'll just do a video and answer them directly. I'm getting bounced all over. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign out for now. Don't laugh. I was trying to think of, oh, the other thing is, real quick, subscribe, and that way, you know, you'll get notification when I post, you know, fresh stuff, new videos and stuff, and you can kind of follow me along the way, follow my journey. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Loving it. If trucking's for you, you're going to love it too. It's a good decision. So with that, this is the Redhead Trucker, about to sign out. And yeah, everybody else took all the good names. So what could I come up with? I'm a redhead. I'm kind of into trucking, just getting into it. So that's right, I'm the Redhead Trucker, baby. Catch you later.